Kirsty Coventry spent her career winning Olympic medals alongside women. Now, as IOC president, she just decided who counts as one. The International Olympic Committee has officially barred transgender athletes from competing in women's Olympic events, the most dramatic policy reversal in decades. But what nobody's telling you is why this happened now, and what was really going on behind closed doors for the last 10 years. Here's the hidden timeline. In 2003, the IOC required transgender women to undergo full surgical reassignment and 2 years of hormone therapy before competing. Then in 2015, they softened the rules, surgery was no longer required, and the testosterone threshold was set at 10 nanomoles per liter. By 2021, under Thomas Bach's leadership, the IOC went even further. They dropped all testosterone limits entirely and told individual sports federations to figure it out themselves. 3 different policies in 18 years. Each one contradicted the last. So why was 2021's hands-off approach a disaster? Because it created chaos. World Athletics set its own testosterone cap at 5 nanomoles per liter. World Aquatics banned anyone who transitioned after age 12. The International Cycling Union set a 2-year transition period. Every federation had different rules, and athletes had no idea where they stood. Imagine training your entire life for the Olympics, and finding out 6 months before the games that your sport changed its eligibility requirements. That was the reality for dozens of athletes on both sides of this debate. Then Kirsty Coventry took over. The 5-time Olympic medalist from Zimbabwe replaced Thomas Bach in March 2025, and she inherited a mess. But here's what most people don't know: Coventry didn't just wake up one morning and make this call. She commissioned a 2-year internal review that surveyed over 400 athletes from 60 countries. The findings were never made public in full, but sources close to the process say the data on competitive advantage was, in their words, impossible to ignore. And the science? It's more complicated than either side wants to admit. Multiple peer-reviewed studies show that transgender women who suppress testosterone for 2 years still retain, on average, 9% greater muscle mass and significantly higher bone density than cisgender women. Other researchers argue those advantages diminish over time and vary wildly between individuals. The truth is, sports science has never had a clean answer to this question, because human biology doesn't fit neatly into policy boxes. But here's the part nobody's talking about. This decision wasn't just about biology. It was about money and politics. Several major Olympic sponsors privately lobbied the IOC, citing brand risk in markets where transgender inclusion in sports has become a polarizing culture war issue. At the same time, multiple national Olympic committees, particularly from the Middle East and parts of Africa, threatened to reduce their participation if inclusive policies continued. Coventry was facing pressure from every direction, and the science gave her the cover she needed. The reaction has been swift and divided. Human rights organizations, including the Human Rights Campaign and Athlete Ally, condemned the decision as discriminatory. 23-time Olympic gold medalist Michael Phelps said fairness must come first. Transgender athletes and their advocates say they're being erased from the world's biggest sporting stage. Women's sports advocates call it a necessary protection. Both sides claim science supports their position. Both sides feel the other is ignoring the evidence. What makes this decision truly unprecedented is what it signals for the future. The IOC has historically positioned itself as a progressive institution. Remember, they added refugee teams, pushed for gender parity in events, and flew pride flags at recent games. This reversal marks the first time the Olympic movement has walked back an inclusion policy in its 130-year history. And the ripple effects are already spreading. FIFA, World Rugby, and the International Tennis Federation are all reportedly reviewing their own transgender policies in light of this ruling. Follow this channel now, because the stories everyone else is afraid to explain, we break them down before the spin starts. Like this, share it, and drop your take in the comments. But here's the question that will keep you up tonight: if the IOC can reverse a human rights position based on sponsor pressure and political threats, what else have they decided behind closed doors that we don't know about yet?